the best football coach in the world and regarded as the great play designer and play caller of his generation. Andy's a humble guy, doesn't want to talk about that, but he's starting to stack trophies now, and Andy Reid, coach of the Super Bowl back-to-back winning Chiefs, is joining us. You know, I was thinking about this. Spags has been around forever. Chris Jones is a veteran. Travis Kelce is. Mahomes is. Do you ever, Andy, you guys have been in so many close games in a row, do you ever just go to your guys, the bedrock guys, and do they ever come to you? You're so close and you've had so much success. And do they ever come to you and say, Andy, we got to take the shells off today. Andy, we can't hit today. Or are you just going to go, listen, guys, this is football. It's tough. What's the communication like between you and those veteran Spags, Chris, all those guys?
Yeah, so with the players, I've got a players committee, Colin. So they let me know where they're at and how they're feeling. And I try to check with them. And it's important that in today's world, we talk about recovery and keeping guys fresh and all of that. So I keep my ears open, and I'm always listening and asking questions, and they're willing to share, which is a good thing.
So I had defended Travis Kelce in the first couple of weeks. I said, my guess is Andy's trying to establish Rashee Rice as a number one target. He's trying to get Xavier Worthy worked in. This isn't Travis issue. It's let's get the young receivers up to speed. So let's start with Worthy, who is a remarkably fast kid. Not a lot of guys run like him. I don't see him as a volume guy, but I think he's really important. Do you see him as a guy that could be 12 targets, 9 catches? How do you see him?
Yeah, I think you'd love him, Colin. I know Sark told me he was his favorite guy, which I probably shouldn't say, but he really liked the kid. And he's a California kid too, Colin. So I'm partial to him a little bit, but he's very smart, and he's got great football instincts and loves to play. A lot like Deshaun Jackson and his football knowledge and his ability. So I'm not sure I want to take him through the middle of the defense every play, but I know he can endure some hits, and he knows how to avoid hits, which is a plus at his size.
You know, Gronk had this, and Travis Kelce does, and maybe an old Antonio Gates. They just have an ability to get open on big plays. Is it, and they're willing blockers, which always helps. Travis doesn't run. No tight end runs in year 10 on like they ran their second year in the league. You ask him to block. I said Gronk got slow, but he was valuable. If I said to you, give me the assets of Travis Kelce, all things considered, hand, speed, knowledge, what to you makes him special and different than other tight ends historically?
Phenomenal instincts and ability to play in space. I would tell you, is second to none of the guys that I've been around since I've been in the league and watching this thing. So he just has a knack. He's quarterback friendly, which you can appreciate. People don't know that you were a quarterback, but I'm telling them that, and so you know that that guy, he's closest to you, and he becomes very valuable.
Yeah.
And then he's got he's one of those football savant guys, player savants. He knows exactly what's going on. He knows all the positions, and he does a great job with all that.
One of the reasons teams don't win 3 in a row, and it's harder now than ever because it's a much more mobile league. Guys get richer. They have endorsements. They get distracted. So during the offseason, you're sitting there looking at your trophies and thinking, how do I avoid apathy? And how do you? Is it something you brought into camp? Is it a talking point? Andy, nobody's done this. And Shula's had great teams. And Belichick and Bill Walsh, they had the personnel to win 3 straight. And the league wasn't even as mobile as it is now. You've had injuries. How do you attack that? Or do you?
Yeah, no apathy for the trophies. I have apathy for Tommy Burgers, not the trophies. But I just try to, I step back and I understand, Colin, what it takes to play in this league. It's not easy. And so training camp is going to remain the same. You better get yourself, you can do whatever you want in the off season, but you better be prepared. And the guys know that, and the veteran players know it. And so they come back in good shape. They work their tails off in the off season. And then once the season comes around, they're ready to go. And we don't talk about the trophies. We don't look at the trophies and do all of that stuff. We understand that the competition level is so high in this league, and the parity is so close that we've got to make sure we stay on our A game every day, and that's the way we go about it.
Spags, do you ever override him on anything, or does he run the show defensively? I mean, do you ever have to go, hey, can we discuss this? Can we talk about that? I know you have so much respect for him. Where's the line on that?
Yeah, I'm lucky to have these coordinators at all three spots, and Spags does a great job. I let him roll with what he does, and nobody does it better. I mean, he's a great teacher, most of all, and has a tremendous mind for the game. So very fortunate that way, as I am on the offensive side with Nags and then with Tobe. So they all do their thing, and I just kind of jump in when I need to jump in and have some fun with it.
Okay, Mahomes, and I love him, but most of the great quarterbacks in my life, Elway, Peyton Manning, Stafford, they throw bad picks. Mahomes had a couple of them. Do you say anything, or is it he knows it stunk? Because he's had a couple of stinkers this year. Do you say, hey, what did you see? What do you do when you have the best quarterback on the planet and it just doesn't look right to you? What do you do?
Yeah, so I'm here just to be a teacher, and so I try to help him out with whatever I can help him out with. But first of all, nobody wants to be coached more than he wants to be coached, and then nobody knows when he makes a mistake better than he knows he makes a mistake. So he doesn't want to throw the interceptions, and so maybe there's something in there that he can see for the next time. And then my point to him is keep firing. You're the best in the business. Keep firing, and we'll work on the small things as we go there.
Does he ever lose confidence, even for a series?
I haven't seen it. He wants to do well. He's that kind of guy. He's always in the building and that whole deal. He grew up in a stinking locker room, so he's always around, and he wants to do well, and he wants to do well for his teammates. He's very good with all that, and so you don't get the whole ego thing in there, and that. So he just wants to know the whys and where guys are and how he can make it better and help his teammates out.
I know you're not a doctor, but there's more testing reportedly on Rashee Rice. We're crossing our fingers, and generally with that kind of injury, there's a report the next day. Do we have an update, Andy? I mean, usually this kind of injury we know fast. It appears we don't know yet. Do you?
Yeah, he's going to have a couple more tests done this next week. So we'll see exactly where it's at. And, I'm going to leave it up to the doctors. You're right. I don't claim to be that. I just know he's not going to be there this week and probably the next week. So we've got a bunch of guys that we've got to get ready to go. And that's what we're doing.
110 straight. Each of the last 7 has been a one-score game. I said you're starting to be very New England. The coach, the quarterback, situationally excellent, great. You never think about the dynasty. You're in one. You are one. You're kind of a normal guy. And you know what I'll say this about your guys. Between Kelce, Chris Jones, you, Spags, there's something about being in the Midwest that you guys don't get, you know what I mean? It's like, I always feel like Green Bay and you guys have this, is that you're just normal. It's easy to get abnormal when you start stacking trophies. You feel like a bunch of normal guys. When you're around it, does it feel like you're the reigning dynasty in America?
No, I mean, listen, all those guys that you mentioned, and I'd throw Pat in there too, they're just guys that want to work and get better, which is a dream for a coach. And they take care of business in the locker room there. And guys are on the same page. All those guys are real good leaders. Bolton was in that mix, and I've got some young guys in the secondary. They're real good leaders, and so very fortunate that way. Brett Veach, Brett,
yep.
And the great job that he does on bringing guys in, and so we try to keep it real. And what's real is you put your nose to the grinder and get to work. And that's what we tried to do.
Andy Reid, Kansas City Chiefs, the standard in the NFL. As always, great seeing you. You always give us time. I appreciate that, Coach.
Yeah, thank you, Colin. You're the best, man.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.